our podcast with,
Mr. Terry Wayne.
and we got Alan Workman in the house. Welcome, Alan.
Here.
Alan, how was your weekend?
It was depressing. It was just raining the whole time.
Just raining? You
Just
didn't
rain. It was
you-
very depressing.
you didn't do anything fun?
No, I'm
No
trying to.
bikes or
No, I mean, yeah, some mics. Trying to get Mondays, Tuesdays. Normally go out to Riverside. City mics are available. Trying to do that, but yeah, just very depressing.
yeah. Okay.
Very depressing normally.
Terry, what about your weekend? How was it?
It was good. I was working on my business plan proposal so I can get this loan, so I can get this food truck, so I can get
Did
this
you buy the
rolling.
truck?
I'm hoping to have one built.
Okay.
That would be best case scenario. But
Nice.
there are used ones for sale. I would just rather build my own so that way I know it's got all the things that I want / need in it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really do much this weekend. I didn't perform. I just went to a couple of comedy shows. Actually, there was, Anna Lepley. She does the drag comedy show. There were some comics that we've had on here: Nico, Kyle Dahl, and Kitano, and Abby Ballin. And so that was a lot of fun. And then I went to Jupiter for a show on Saturday, chilled on Sunday. So, all right. I guess we'll get right to the blaming. Terry's sharing the show. I should have been doing that while y'all were talking. I totally forgot. But nonetheless, first up, we got there's secret weapons, aliens in the Antarctic. Who's to blame?
I think
Now-
you're to blame because you brought this to me,
Now-
which is insane.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's based off, I'll be honest, it's based off a TikTok that I saw that streamed what some official looking person with
Is that
a
all it takes now? Just be official looking.
yeah, it looked like a really official thing happening. And they are saying that they unearthed you didn't even do any research. I didn't either.
I
Because
did.
just got the show for today, but it's okay.
Oh.
We're learning with this new
Yeah.
structure.
Mhm.
But yeah,
Oh no, I looked into it.
what did
Yeah.
you find, Terry?
This-
I'm to
this-
blame.
This is not a NASA official. This is not. First of all, they're basically claiming that this technology is way beyond us. So they're basically insinuating that this is alien technology at the South Pole, and that they turned it on and it started creating earthquakes in Australia or New Zealand. I mean, which is in Christchurch, New Zealand, they had an earthquake because they turned this machine on in Antarctica. I don't buy this.
So I sent this to Terry because last week, what did we talk about? The
Aliens in Vegas.
in
Yes.
Vegas. So I don't think it's a coincidence that this is all happening at the same time. Like 1 week, there's aliens up at the top in the United States, and next thing you know, we're finding out there's technology faster than the speed of light. That's what they say on this.
For I don't know, for blaming part, because like I'm Jewish too, so like we obviously have space lasers that just create.
That's right.
aliens.
And
We have space lasers that
are those
create aliens.
faster than the speed of light?
They go supersonic speed. So obviously it must be that in Antarctica. It must be it's our
Nice.
Jewish lasers.
It's
There's-
the
It's always the Jews.
It's always-
Who
Always.
brought that up? Was it Marjorie Taylor Greene was right?
Yeah.
Turned down.
Yeah, Marjorie Taylor Greene has never been right about anything ever.
She was right about the Jewish space lasers.
Yep.
We have Alan
Yep,
Russman.
we have
who's
space lasers.
You're letting us know
Yep. Yep.
that these
That great
space lasers. So you did research, Terry, and you were unconvinced.
And
I'm asking. That's a question.
what's that?
I say you did research and you were just unconvinced.
Yeah, I'm unconvinced. I'm
You don't,
unconvinced that aliens came to Earth and gave us a weapon, essentially, to create earthquakes on the Earth. Yeah, I'd say unconvinced is probably on the lighter side
yeah.
of the way I feel about it.
Did they say it was necessarily aliens, or
Well, they insinuated that it was it.
I thought they insinuated that it was more like, did you watch the video?
No, I actually didn't
You did?
watch it. No.
That it was like tied to some big capitalist corporation also.
Okay, so how do you make money creating earthquakes somewhere else?
Ask Halliburton.
Halliburton? No, you don't need an earthquake machine for that. You just need some brown people. And then you blame them for stuff, and then you can blow up their country.
All right. This one I'm so excited to discuss. We have found out that, we've talked on the BlameGirl podcast about how different drugs can help with cure different substance abuse problems, right? But turns out MDMA cures racism. Who's to blame? Go.
All right.
Well, I've never done ecstasy, so wouldn't
What?
know about. Yeah, wouldn't know about it.
So you feel racist, huh?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I'm very, very, very racist because that's what I care about. No, if you read the article, they said this is not a common thing. Basically, what it does is they're finding out MDMA or Molly or ecstasy or whatever you want to call it taps into the part of your brain that develops empathy, like your more sensitive side. So yeah, they took this guy. He was in a trial, in a drug trial for this particular thing, and they didn't know at the time when he entered it that he was the leader of a white nationalist group, and he had just gotten outed, I guess. So he got fired and lost a bunch of friends and family, and because this guy was he marched in Charlottesville too. The guys with the torches and the Jews will not replace this thing. Yeah. And he said during his experience on Molly, he said he just kept asking himself, why am I doing this? Why am I like this? And then next thing you know, he's making apologies and taking off tattoos and turning his whole life around. I mean, I totally believe in using some of these psychogenic drugs, especially when it comes to like mental illness, PTSD. And I mean, mushrooms they've done with soldiers. They've given soldiers psilocybin to cure PTSD and alcoholism. I'm all for this. All for it.
Alan,
Ketamine.
what say you?
I mean, personally, for me, any drug really would just cure racism, not just like Molly or like.
No, I'm sure skinheads do cocaine. Calm down.
I mean, all right, cocaine, sure, but like, let's just say weed, for example. Like,
Yeah.
I'm thinking about
Not a lot of white
like,
nationalists smoking weed.
No.
You're right. I don't think
that too, but like, if you're smoking weed, you're thinking about hot Cheetos, then instead of like punching some like black dude or something.
that's true.
I don't know if weed would get you there. I'm sure there's plenty of people that are racist that smoke weed. I don't think it would get you there, but any psychoactive drug, any psychedelics.
I think, I did ecstasy in college and I would do it again. It's fun. But I was never a racist. So I don't know like what part. I think I've always kind of had empathy. So I think it's super interesting. And it's just one of those wonders, just like the LSD and the alcoholism and whatnot. So I think more studies like this.
Well, they did say at the end of the article they don't think this can actually solve racism, but they do think it'll help a lot of people with different mental illnesses because of that same reason.
We may problem in a minute. I don't know where that noise came from, but you hear that? That was very loud.
I heard that too.
But we'll deal with it when we get there. Oh, shit.
You can say whatever you want.
You hear that?
It's loud.
Yes, it's very loud.
Welcome to comedy.
Anyway, no, but I mean, if you get, if they could just do one of these studies to make people drive better, I would personally put money into it to help fund it. You know, like if we find out that there's a drug that makes you drive better, I'm all for it. Because we can get rid of racism, we can get rid of these lousy drivers, you know.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah.
All right.
You can't even hear me, can you?
Exactly. Well, if you,
Barely,
if you,
barely.
if you're looking up to hear my voice right now.
She's about to get off. It's not starting it. So. But nonetheless, okay.
About 8:50.
I think
All right.
we got to be done by 8:15.
Okay.
Okay.
This is why we don't do things on location.
This is my what?
This is why we don't do podcasts on location, like I've said.
No, we'll do. It's not that serious. It's fine.
Mm.
It's kind of funny, and we are comedians.
Yeah.
So,
It's all about that.
anyway,
And get you
Yeah.
a refrigerator box or something.
what do you mean?
You could just put a refrigerator box over you, you know, and you have like a little pod for the podcast, you know.
Yes. Yeah. Because I love shooting it on location. I think it's fun and I think it's good because we get to meet comedians in person. You know, I'm all about the in person. But at the same time, I know that our setup could be a lot more professional, which is why I got the better microphone. I hope you can tell the quality tonight with the microphone, guys. I bought a expensive microphone to do the podcast now because I'm serious.
I can vouch. It looks good.
Yeah.
It came highly recommended by a friend of the show, Brian Drolet, who's moving back. I don't know if I told you this, Terry. Brian's moving back in July. Yeah. You remember
Well, that's
Brian?
nice.
So, anyway, that is nice. Because Terry left and now Brian Drolet is coming back, but it's fine. So, I wonder, can the United States and China be friends again?
Apparently so, because that article is from last week, and now they have gone over there, and Secretary Blinken says that, you know, they basically agreed that it's better when we're working together. I think a lot of that tension between China and the U.S. came from the Trump days.
I was like,
He
is he gonna say the
yeah.
options?
No, he was very publicly open about his distaste for China, but
Yeah.
you know, it is the largest economy in the world. Not to mention they make everything we own. So, yeah, you know, but some of their dealings with Russia lately, and you know, President Xi says he wants to sell weapons to Russia.
And I mean, it's like a running joke that we're all going to be speaking Chinese eventually. You know, they have the most human capital in the world. They have the most people. So if
Ask
they wanted
India.
to
That doesn't
overthrow the
matter.
world, they definitely probably could.
I don't know if that's the case, but
No, they could, unless someone's willing to destroy the entire world.
which we are. The three major superpowers will destroy the world before they allow another country to take them over.
That's sad.
After that.
It is sad, but actually it's not sad, it's mad. MAD,
I think, you know-
mutually assured destruction.
I think the destruction's inevitable because it's not like our lifestyles are slowing down or consumption.
It's
So,
fine. It's fine.
I think what you said is exactly spot on. I think that the United States and China can at least pretend to be friends again. Now that we have the crazy person out of office who's
Well, they don't like everything we do either. They don't like our position on Taiwan. Yeah,
but
But I mean, for the U.S. and China, they could definitely be friends now that Blinken went over and kind of softened, you know, the tension. But for me personally, I can't be friends with China because I watch Winnie the Pooh. So China does not like Winnie the Pooh. So
Winnie the
Well, do you
Pooh.
know
Winnie the
why
Pooh.
they don't like
Don't
Winnie
know
the
about
Pooh?
that? Yeah, everyone compares Winnie the Pooh to the president of China. So I
Which-
can't go over there.
And he's president for life now.
Yeah.
He changed the rules, so he's president for life.
Well,
Pretty
nobody
much.
hates China, but if you know, that's y'all's
But-
problem. It's not our problem.
But I can't be friends with China just because of the Uyghurs. And if you don't know about the Uyghurs, they're basically the
Yeah.
Muslim group in China, and they have active concentration camps right now.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't the Holocaust, but they are active concentration camps where people go to get re-educated.
Now, have you
Yeah.
noticed that neither of y'all said it was the communism? You know, for
No,
Alan,
you can.
it's
They've
for-
always been
for you.
They've always been communists. You know.
it's the W's, right? I'm trying to make more jokes, okay? We've had
That's
demands to make more jokes. I might be a little corny. I apologize in advance. All right. In this last story, guys, I want to talk about a pastor picked his gay son over church. Terry, tell us about this one.
Basically, a church, a fairly large church, decided that they did not want anybody from the LGBT community to be in their congregation. So they basically banned anybody who's queer in any way.
Breaking
Well,
up families.
And then the pastor got up in front of the entire congregation and said, well, if they're not welcome, neither am I, because my son's gay. And he basically stood up to his church to defend his son, which I loved seeing. I include this story because I wanted people to know there's still churches out there that are just banning folks. You know what I mean? Like, it's so.
I find it fascinating that they would kick people out of the church like that. That is crazy. But it just goes to show you how far right, if you will, we've gone when it comes to identity politics, really.
What do I always say? The whole world would be a much better place if everybody just mind their own damn business. That's it. You don't like gay people? Fine. Don't have gay friends, you know, but you don't have to kick them out of the neighborhood, you know. But it's always been that way. I remember growing up in the 80s and early 90s, like, people would segregate gay guys because they're like, no, they're going to turn your kids gay if you let them around. And it's like, what? Like,
I didn't have my first encounter with gay people until I was in my in college. And ironically, one of the people I worked at this after school thing. His name was Richard, and he was just like the skinniest little black man. He was so cute. He'd always be like, but he had no hair. And I loved him. I thought he was really cool. And then a woman there, she was a lesbian, and I babysat her kids. But I never was taught or raised to not like. It turns out my mom's best friend was gay, but that wasn't even an issue. No one.
Well, you know what? You know what the
Huh?
sad part is you say your first interaction with a gay person was in college. No, it wasn't.
Yeah,
they were just closeted and they couldn't come out. They couldn't say anything. They had to pretend they were somebody else. I remember when I was growing up, I grew up in a church. You know, my father was the pastor, and there was one kid named Jonathan. We all knew he was gay. Everybody knew he was gay, but he couldn't admit it. He couldn't say it because then he'd be ostracized. It's really terrible.
Yeah.
And it's really terrible the way we can treat other people. And that whole thing about, oh, they're going to turn your kids gay. It's like, look, man, I've been convinced to do a lot of stupid things, but I'm pretty sure nobody can convince me to suck a dick if I don't want to. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
I just can't imagine. Do you know what kind of church that was? Was that that sounds like some Baptist church.
it is. It was a Baptist church.
I don't think Catholic church would. It's always like these super Southern Baptist, you know.
Yeah, the Catholics actually can't because the Pope decreed that being gay is not a sin.
Yeah.
Not one of the older popes. This new guy,
Unless you're doing it to,
the new fun guy.
did they decree that rape is a sin?
Well, yeah, they're still not fans of the abortions, but whatever.
No, well, rape, because they were raping the little boy. Anyway, that was my poor attempt at a Catholic rape.
You should have said molestation.
I
That's
should have said molested, but they. Okay.
yeah.
I guess there is a difference. No.
Yeah, I think it's molestation when they're under 16, I think. Something like that.
Never knew. Never knew the difference between it. It's like
There is. There.
yeah,
there-
I would always like kind of, I mean, not equate, but I mean like molestation just sounds like similar to rape. Like I never like that.
Oh, it is.
It sounds
But-
like more encompassing than rape. To me, molestation means you violated someone's person, and so is rape.
Yeah, there was a comic I saw a comic online who did a whole bit about how pedophilia isn't the main one, because pedophilia means you have to be it's prepubescent, that you're attracted to prepubescent kids. But
It's
then
called-
there's another one where it's post-pubescent, then there's one where it's in the late teens. And it was a great bit because at the end of it,
I think, or something like that.
yeah, exactly. But then
Difference
he
with
explains,
smart
he's like, people should know the difference, but it's really hard because it's really hard to talk about this and not look like a pedophile.
Yeah. We talked about it in college because I did justice, but that's how I knew that there were two different. In like
Oh no,
social-
there's like four. There's like four different kinds. There's some where you're just attracted to like 17 and 18-year-olds. And I call those people men. So
Yeah. All right.
All right.
number one cosplay in the bedroom for married couples, cheerleader outfits and schoolgirl outfits. There's a reason, We're gross.
We're gonna now
We're gonna-
switch. We're gonna welcome formally Alan Workman,
Good to be here again.
comedian.
Yes, good to be here again. It's good to be here. Obviously, I have the whitest name ever, so feel free to work,
Workman.
man. Yeah. So got the whitest name. So
Alan
feel free to-
Workman,
yeah.
whitest name ever. That should
Yep,
be
yep.
that should be how your intro goes.
Yeah.
So Alan, whitest man ever.
Yep.
How long have you been doing comedy?
I've been doing it about a year and a half actually.
Nice.
I actually got my start at the Palm Beach Improv, the open mic there. And,
The new
I've been-
faces.
Yeah, new faces, and haven't gone back since. So
Nice,
been,
nice.
it's been a good start. I guess.
Did you take classes or did you just bring enough people?
No, just brought some people, and like I've always just been acting stupid my whole life, just like not pranks, just doing like character voices, like Winnie the Pooh, just like random bullshit, and like hit up a mic, see what
Yeah.
happens. So, haven't gone back since.
All right. So since you've been doing comedy, it's funny, and I know the answer to this already. Have you traveled?
Actually, yeah, I actually saw you in Austin.
Yeah.
I was in Austin, Texas,
That's right.
hitting up, trying to get on some mics, and bumped into you.
That's right. That's
And,
right. That was wild.
we both did a mic up there, and
We were trying to go up on the mothership.
Yeah.
and, we did not make it. We
No,
did not make it
we
there.
did not make it.
Alan, did you go to Austin specifically to do comedy, or were you just there?
Yeah, just trying to hit up like as
But
many
you
mics.
didn't just do Austin, because when I saw
Oh,
you,
yeah,
you said
yeah,
you were going
yeah,
somewhere
Yeah,
else.
so I started Austin for a few days, and then I went to Nashville, Tennessee. That's my favorite place to go. I'm assuming you're in Nashville. Oh, okay, all right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's my
So
favorite
next time
place.
you go, you'll have. Yeah.
Yeah, I was there, trying to do some mics there. Mostly went there for like, just like for vacation, see some live music, and
Did you get to do any mics or?
no, it was a little far for my Uber. It was a little far.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it was good. I mean, Nashville, I love Nashville. It's always a great time every time I go.
Terry just moved there, but he lived in what's the other big Nashville city?
You mean the other big Tennessee city?
I mean Nashville, Tennessee city.
Yeah, I'm from Memphis originally.
You're Memphis.
Okay, all right. Haven't been there yet. Eventually.
Don't go
No,
there.
no.
I was like,
It's not good.
think it's
It's
like
not a
the
good
place-
place to go to.
I don't know if I'm doing comedy there, I'm probably getting right out the next night, you know? And I
You
need
will
to get-
die.
need-
You will
needing
die
to get
there.
paid. Just don't take shows in Memphis, Terry says.
Just don't. No, you will die there. Scary
All right.
place.
All right.
All right, so you did Austin, you traveled, so you tried Nashville. Had you done any other out of like town?
Out of state now. Just those for right now.
What about in Florida? Where have you?
They're just mostly I do West Palm Broward. I'm trying to do more Miami now, but mostly West Palm Broward. But I'm trying to sneak my way into the Miami comedy scene a little more.
Yeah, it's rough.
You don't have
you're-
to sneak. You can just go right in. They're fine.
rough when you're up north, but you can like if you go to the mics and stuff though, sometimes, but what's your since you've been traveling the circuit, what has become your favorite venue?
Better than I will say the tourists in Miami. I actually went there recently. It's a pretty good spot.
Yeah,
Coconut Grove.
Very good spot.
Coconut Grove. It's a good,
It's a really
good spot.
So you got to go upstairs?
Yeah.
Is there an open mic?
Yeah. So it's a
Oh.
show then the mic after.
What not? Okay, maybe I wasn't there I think I was there on a mic night and I couldn't get up, but it's so far.
Yeah. It's a little bit of a pain in the ass.
What
but,
night? It's Tuesday.
Thursday.
Maybe I'll try to force myself and go to an open mic there.
That's a
too.
good one. And then Dada and Delray. That's a good spot to just practice. Yeah.
Where do you live in Broward or do you? live
Yeah. I'm from Broward, from Florida.
So it's easy for you to get to Miami.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the middle
Yeah.
between West Palm and
If you're going up to Miami,
Miami.
so do you, have you tried any of the other West Palm mics?
No,
Or
I
Palm
have
Beach
done-
County, actually?
back in the day, there was a place in Jupiter called Duke's Tacos. It was an okay mic. I would always go there, but they have since been deceased. So
I was gonna say, you said back in the day.
Yeah.
You mean like a year ago? Is that the
Yeah.
day that you were back then?
I think it's Mexican food still, but someone bought it. But ironically, the owner of these tacos still has Brick and Barrel, which is the show that I went to this
All right.
Saturday. That's cool. So what has been your favorite moment since you've become a comedian?
It was after the New Faces here in Dania, actually, that a few days later, I actually got recognized just walking outside, just walking in public, going shopping. It's like, hey, you're from the Dania Improv, right? Like,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I guess someone actually recognized me
Yes.
from the show. I'm like, wow,
That's
that's
so cool.
so great.
That's
So,
always a good moment.
That
The
was-
first
that was-
time that happens,
I don't know that that's happened to me yet, which is crazy. I've been doing it 5 years. And I guess, but it was weird because like a couple of months ago, I was at a mic doing comedy and they were like, he's always at Swamp. So they recognized me from another mic. So I don't know if that counts, but that's
yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, that was my proudest moment so far. So we'll see if there's more after that.
What's
well,
been
you.
Go ahead, Terry.
Oh, I was gonna say you're still a little wet behind the ears, so don't worry about it. It'll come.
Yeah, shit will happen
Yep.
if you keep at it.
Um,
What has been your biggest challenge doing comedy?
challenge. I'd say, stage fright, like we all have it. I get a little nervous before I go up, but I just kind of have like a little before stage ritual and just like shaking myself violently to like get off the shakes, I guess. Or
You don't drink?
Yeah. Oh, of course, like like not too much before I go on stage, but yeah, a few beers, loosen me up.
Yeah,
Well, nothing too crazy before stage.
not encouraging. I was just
Nothing too
Just
crazy
asking.
before stage, but yeah, a little.
some comedians do have one or two before they go up, but yeah, you don't want to have too many because
Yeah.
then it'd be a rough go about it. Terry, do you have any other comedy questions for our guests?
No.
Cool.
What's your? I got a question. What's your goal for this? Is it just
Oh,
something
yeah.
fun to do? Or are you trying
Yeah,
to
just-
make a career out of this? Or
Yeah, I've been trying to eventually make a career out of it. Eventually, assuming that people like me, and that I'm funny. But yeah, I'm just kind of going about it, just coming up with jokes and just having fun with it. In the end, it's about having fun.
Definitely. Definitely. So tell us about you as a human. Like what do you do during the day? And
I actually,
do you have a family? Where
yeah.
you from originally? Tell us about you.
all right. I'm actually born and raised in Fort Lauderdale. So it's my
Florida
hometown.
man.
Florida man. I'm a Florida man without the face eating. And actually, I went to the same high school as Johnny Depp, Miramar High School.
Wow.
Yeah, I went to Miramar. And,
I did not know Johnny Depp was a Florida man, but it makes sense now.
Yeah, Johnny Depp went to Miramar. That was fun. And makes sense though, because I have man bracelets too. So if you go to the same school, you just automatically become Johnny Depp after.
He's
And
doing bits. He's doing bits.
but no, yeah, I'm Florida born and raised. Just trying to do comedy, having fun with it. When I'm not doing comedy, I bartend, serve. So tip your, waiters, waitresses, bar staff every time you go out to one of our, tip your bartenders, bar staff every time you go out. Yeah. And yeah, that's about it. I'm pretty boring.
Yeah, that
Pretty
was
boring.
very.
Oh, we
that
can
was
tell.
very
Pretty
fast.
boring.
That was a
Not
very, very fast.
a lot to talk about there. Very boring when I'm not like on stage.
How old are you?
I look old as fuck. I look like I'm 40. I'm actually 25.
Oh, okay. That's
Uh,
why there's not a lot to talk about. You're
yeah.
young.
Yeah, I'm still
Yeah.
young.
he's a baby.
Yeah, I'm a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's had his little baby face up under that beard.
Yeah, I do
You
actually.
don't 40, but I think I mean, I knew you looked younger before you grew. You didn't always have me.
No. This is actually recent. I look like I just walked off the set of Vikings, but I'm actually keeping the beard.
You don't feel like your youth is a little bit of a challenge for you doing this?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just being myself. I mean, the beard is growing out. The beard's kind of new because I'm actually trying to get back into into shape, trying to work
Yeah.
out more. So I'm holding my beard hostage
Yeah.
because that'd be like the only reason to like kind of motivate me to keep going to the gym and doing all that, eat disgusting kale and all that. But,
All right. I think it is time. It's 8:03. Okay. It's time to play the blame game. Are you ready?
all right.
Your humor doesn't land well with boomers. Who's to blame? And now I realize, right after we just talked about your age.
My age. Yeah. Boomers. Yeah. I'm not a fan of boomers. Because like obviously like I'm a white dude, so like, oh, like he's racist maybe. And like
Boomers
no.
don't think that. Boomers wouldn't think that.
But I will say though, I am ageist. Boomers do not like my comedy. So
Yeah.
because I'm young.
Well, I think it's like the thing about it is to reach all the crowds, right? It's good to find general references that everybody can maybe relate to, or you can explain to everybody. I don't know. Cause yeah, it's hard. If I know what you mean, and I've seen it happen, and I've been a victim of it. Has that happened to you, Terry?
I mean, I look like this, so yeah.
Yeah, but like, did you have trouble like making millennials laugh ever? Or
I mean, yeah, because I look like this. Like,
you think it's all about how you look?
no, it's just another challenge to overcome. You get in front of a young audience like that. Like, who's this banker? Like they're coming at you a little bit. So that's why you got to win them over quick. That's why I always prefer like the first joke to just be something quick, 15, 20 seconds, get them on your side. And then you can relax, get one good laugh, and then you can relax and they can relax. Be like, all right, well, let's listen to what dad has to say. All right.
All right. Well, Alan, do you have any other projects, any shows coming up that you want to tell people about?
Right now, no, I'm not that I'm not that famous enough yet. But right now I'm just kind of just honing my craft right now, doing mics.
What mics can people catch you at?
Y'all can catch me at Dada tomorrow, actually, and I'll be at the Daiquiri Bar right now here at over by the
Right.
Improv.
Yeah, we'll tell y'all about that here in a second. All right. What are your socials?
And you can catch me at Alan on Instagram, and that's it. I would say Facebook, but not much of a boomer person, so just Alan Workman.
Are you on
If
TikTok?
you're TikTok, yeah, it's at know of Alan, because you might know me. I don't know, but yeah, it's at
He
Know
has a
of Alan for
Facebook.
TikTok.
I've been on it. He has a Facebook.
All right, all right. And then that would bring us to Terry Williams Sports for White People. What do you got for him tonight?
Tonight, honkies, we will talk about kindness. Kindness, mainly because since I've been up here in the 2 months since I moved up here, because I'm not in Nashville, I'm just outside of Nashville, about 25 minutes or so. So it's a small town, and everybody is so friggin' nice. Like I can't. It was shocking to see. I went to the little local grocery store, and do you know what I didn't see in the parking lot? A cart. Not one cart in the parking lot, because everybody, it seems like, collectively said, no, we're all just going to take our carts back. And I was blown away by that. And the fact that I was blown away by it was a little depressing, because it made me realize how much living in Florida had affected me and my expectations of other people. Now it's like, I'm shocked if I go to a store and somebody doesn't hold the door open for me, even when you're way far away, even when you're too far away. I'm saying too far away to where it gets awkward. They will still stand there like a New York City doorman and hold it open for you. And then I got used to that here, and I started doing it because obviously you want to fit in. You know, you don't want to be the jerk in the town. And I realized how much it made me feel better. You know what I mean? About being kinder to other people, strangers that I'd never see again. And I think that's something that they've lost in the more metropolitan areas like South Florida. And I noticed how much better my life became just by those little things, just by the little do what's right, be kind to your neighbor thing. How much better it made my life. Not because others were doing it for me, but because I felt better about myself doing it for others. So maybe you guys should start a trend down there and bring back some of those old courtesies and some of that old politeness, some of those manners. Because it's not just for looks, and it's not just for show, and it's not just for showboating in front of others. It literally makes you feel better.
All right.
Take that,
Let me
crackers.
ask you something, Terry.
Yes, sir.
What is the demographics of your area?
What do you mean? Like race wise? A lot of white, a lot of Mexican, some black, but not very, but a lot of white and a lot of Mexican.
Do you think it's easier for white people to be nice to each other? Maybe
I don't think so. I think it's
it's
definitely
like super mixed in South Florida.
right, but I think it's a more of a cultural thing for the area than it is for, say, a race or a gender. It's kind of like I said, like you want to fit in, you want to fit into wherever you're living, you want to fit into the culture you're living in. So if everybody collectively does this one thing, like for instance, I never found a problem with leaving carts in the parking lot. Because I used to work for a store that had carts.
That's interesting.
And I loved it. I loved when people left carts in there, because then I have to go out there and get them. So it's almost like a little break I get to take, you know? So I go out there, smoke a cigarette, maybe throw my headphones in, you know, I love it.
Like,
but now I do it. Now when I go there.
Very nice, but also very racist. So it's weird. I don't know.
I haven't seen any of that since I've been here. I haven't seen any racism whatsoever.
Remember when they kicked their two Congress people out of Congress?
Yes, yes, but you
Just
can't.
saying, like, it is Tennessee. Don't act like it's not there.
Hey, man, I'm not saying that. I'm saying you can't confuse a culture of people with the politics of the leaders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I haven't seen any, and I've been looking because I wanted to see if it was still, because when I was a kid, yeah, in Memphis,
Yeah.
oh yeah, but I haven't seen any of that shit since I've been here, and I've been looking. But
All right.
but yeah,
well,
but it's contagious. That kindness, those courtesies, and that kindness, it's all contagious. I went to the grocery store today and found myself taking my cart back in there and putting it back in the place of, just
all right.
cause.
Did you not do that in South Florida? Because I always do.
Never.
Oh, you did. So you were a part of the problem here. All right, we
Never.
don't have much time. They're gonna get this mic started soon, and I don't want that audio blasting over us. Terry, what do you want to tell people?
Just
Book.
buy the book. Buy the book on Amazon. It's Unclaimed Ashes. It's available right now.
I am here at 14 North Daniel, outside the Daniel Improv tonight, hosting the open mic, and tomorrow I'm co-hosting Dada. Wednesday I am at Tavola's in North County, maybe even Martin County or St. Lucie County. So come find me. Oh, and guess what? I got a date in LA. I'll be in LA at the beginning of July. So I'll be telling y'all about that coming up soon. So until then, thanks for joining us. We'll see y'all next time.